Yes, legends, how is everybody doing? Let's analyze the situation for Bitcoin. I got a good one with very, very good technical levels here. A bit of volatility right now, a little pissed off because, you know, I was in a couple of trades and got stopped out at break even here. Overall, did take some profits. I'll explain the situation that we mentioned in the Legends trading community and also the levels mentioned on today's video update. Let's go right away through the comment section and let me know right away. Just 1 second, guys. See if I am live. Let me know if I am live right away, guys, in the comment section. Yes, it does look like I am live. Yes, we are. Let me just double check here. Something's going wrong here with my it seems like I'm live. Yes, I am live. I can see it here on YouTube. Let me know, legends, right away, and we'll go through some different scenarios here on the price of Bitcoin. Short squeeze incoming. Smashing the like button. Hello, legends. Yes, Andy, all good. Okay, let's go right away, legends. Let's go right away. Yes, seems like everything's working good. Audio's on. Bit of background music. And we are going to crack on. Losing steam, losing momentum. Short squeeze incoming, very much possible, very much a possibility. There's been some really nice technical trades here, guys, and I'll explain right away why. There's been some very, very nice range technical trades. You probably know which ones were the trade setups, okay? We'll be going through in detail, of course. Very, very simple, easy to understand, easy to manage risk setups. But we're just getting a little bit of a volatility from this small little range that we have formed today, right? So basically we had this range in between yesterday and today, range lows and range highs. And I think you must have guessed where there was actually a good short trade, which I am out right now, of course, with the price coming all the way up to entry. Could it roll down? Yes, I don't care. The good entry was this one. I wanted the price to continue to the downside, but we just got a massive V-shaped recovery here of $1,000, right? In a matter of a few minutes. It's been very, very fast. Boop, boop, a lot of volatility. Could we roll down from here? Absolutely, yes. It's definitely a possibility, but I was only interested in two setups today, which I am going to explain. Both entered, both out. I'll explain right away the setups with technical analysis, just so you can understand the reason of the trade, the reason of the take profits, and the reason of getting stopped out break even, right, with a slight profit. It's just, it is what it is. Just got a major volatile move back up after this drop that we've had. So let's analyze the higher time frame. I want to go through the higher time frame slightly here to consider, you know, what are the highest probability scenarios, right? We are at support. You got the bump and run pattern, but I don't like bump and run to dance around a lot, guys. When we form a bump and run, once you break the trend line, yes, you can back test the level, but you want to start running relatively fast and not dancing around here. This could be, without a doubt, a failed bump and run pattern, and we are going to start breaking down. It does make sense based on Elliott Wave theory. Okay, there are some wave counts to the downside that either this could be the high and we are going to claim the lows of the last 2 days, or we could be forming one more high and then obviously look for the roll down. I'm losing hope. The price is losing momentum for a full bump and run setup, right? And of course, on the higher time frames, what we do have is the possibility of looking at this as a WXY, right? A corrective structure in a three-wave right over here that could be getting ready for the momentum to continue to the downside. So without a doubt, I would like to see one more leg to the upside and then continuation. Then we can look for some swing trade possibilities. Just going to get ready for the levels, guys. The levels was mentioned in today's video update. Just today, small little scalping inside of this range. Price going a little bit crazy here, up and down. But I will go in detail how there's some really good day trade scalping setups when we're ranging, guys. It's just incredible how really, you know, not easy, but easy to detect where the price could bounce and where the price could reject and manage risk, okay? Of course, we want more profits, but we need to take profits off the table without a doubt, because price, you know, once it gets volatility, you never know where it's going to shoot. Right now, I'm extremely confused of what the price is going to do at the moment, okay? Of course, there is the bearish case. I'm going to talk about levels of resistance, also invalidation levels, right, where the price could actually pump through here and get to $62,000, which would be our next level of interest to see the reaction and possibly speculate on a rollback down. But I am leaning a little bit more bearish now, and I will explain with technical analysis, with levels. Of course, we do have that 𝗬𝗏𝗽 pattern as well, right? That, you know, didn't quite hit the 7/8 Fibonacci, just a few dollars off hitting the 7/8 Fibonacci, but with the overall target for this 𝗬𝗏𝗽 pattern is actually very, very bearish, right? Target 1 is hitting the 618 from C to D point, which obviously has been hit because we did retrace down to the 7/8 Fibonacci. But the next target would be the C point, right? And then the A point possibly. As long as you hit take profit 1, then obviously the price can reverse. But 𝗬𝗏𝗽 has 3 take profit levels, right? And this is coming all the way down to the A level, right? Which is all the way down to $49,000. You might be thinking, you were just very bullish about the bump and run, guys. It's all about the momentum. It's all about the next price action that is happening. And I don't like this one single bit. The price action is really not convincing, okay? It's just I don't see the momentum. I do see Elliott Wave counts that are actually looking a little bit bearish, okay? So I will explain them in detail right away, but it does not look too great for the price of Bitcoin. Of course, I am not saying that we cannot come up here to get above $62,000. It's just the momentum, right? And the price action is just not looking extremely great. So overall, we day trade, we scalp, we look for possibilities of swing trades, okay? But I'm going to explain in detail what has happened inside of this zone today with technical analysis, levels, okay? And a little bit of Elliott Wave theory, of course, which has been very, very complex. However, it's been good. Okay, it's been a good day, you know, predicting the levels where we could reject, right? Looking for those possible setups in the Legends trading community, you know, looking for that bounce all the way up to $59,800 to get to the lower highs, right, from that drop that we had yesterday, and looking for the rejection. However, we bounced massively from the previous day value area low, which for me was like, guys, you know, make sure to lock profits right away, because I mean, this was quick. You know, the reaction bounce, I was very much aware of, you know, it might just V-shape, and it actually did. So the overall short trade setup, the one from the last few hours, is actually looking for the lower highs of the drop from yesterday to actually create that swing failure pattern reaction and get the movement down. Now, we did get that movement down of almost $1,000. This is exactly this price action right over here, right? This was the exact zone where we're looking for that wick, okay, to the upside, to swing failure pattern from that lower high of yesterday. And it was a relatively simple execution for me, basically, right? Also a long trade right over here. I'm going to explain why just by looking at the waves inside of this zone, guys. Relatively easy long position at this level, and relatively easy short position at this level over here. That we did get the drop of almost $1,000, and it just bounced right up again, okay? Now, without a doubt, a bit of volatility in this momentum that we have had during the last hour. Obviously, this is with the stock market open happening just in the last 45 minutes, right? So bit of volatility down and up. This is what we get usually on the New York Open. New York Open always provides that little bit of crazy local volatility where you get a bit of pump and dumps. So we just had the New York Open 50 minutes ago, and it's created this dump and pump kind of scenario here, as we can see on the chart, not helping with the actual decisions, right? I really do not like trading while we're having the New York Open because it creates a little bit of a local volatility fest. And if you have very good technical levels, it's going to get me out of the market, and then this is probably going to roll down. Maybe yes, but I'm out of the market, but it doesn't really matter. So let's focus right away on this, guys. I'm going to keep it relatively simple and very technical to understand. When we had the drop yesterday, you could still speculate on that ascending broadening wedge. If you have your stop loss, we talked about a long setup here, and I would say, you know, you could arguably discuss still be in that long and speculate that we are going to get above $61,300, right? You know, getting that leg up. It was a speculation long with the stop losses beneath these higher lows that were formed. It's one of the most rare patterns, but I have to say it could happen. It's one of the most rare patterns when you're looking at Elliott Wave theory. Okay, if it's not impulsive, then you're looking at a contracting diagonal, and at the latest option for the bulls is an expanding diagonal. So overall, if you're looking for an expanding diagonal, you do not want to go beneath the wave 2 right over here, which is sitting at about $58,600. Let's go more technical with that level. Yeah, around about $58,600. So yeah, overall, you know, that it's the most rare scenario that you could be forming an expanding diagonal here. Okay, very rare to happen, and it's unlikely. So bulls do have priority, and the main reason why is because of the drop that we had yesterday. The drop that we had yesterday is extremely simple to count. I was just talking about this with the Legends community early this morning, saying it's pretty obvious that we have had a movement to the downside in a 5-wave move down. Okay, this is textbook Elliott Wave theory. Extremely simple, understanding that the third wave is the most explosive. And let me double check here with the extension, because when we take a look at the extension, well, we are coming all the way down to the 1.618. Classic for a third wave, right? Very classic for a third wave. So you got this classic move down, and then the bounce to the upside, and then the wave 4, the wave 5, which most of the time ends up in a failed auction, right? Or a swing failure pattern, right? Because what happens after wave 5? Well, then you get the ABC, either in a flat, either in a 3-wave structure. So you are looking for that wave 4 to be claimed again. I mean, this is one of my favorite trading setups. Try and detect the 5th wave, then obviously look for that double bottom swing failure pattern locally, and your target zone is the wave 4, right? Because it's mainly where an ABC correction goes to the wave 4. So these are my kind of favorite double bottoms to detect, right? Obviously, I did not get into this long because, yeah, right over here, I was sleeping already. This was already past midnight. It was just around about 2 o'clock in the morning here, UAE time. But if you were awake, well, obviously you can speculate on that scenario. Now, what happened right over here is that we formed, for me, an ABC flat. This is what I do see the highest probability locally when you see this bounce to the upside and you coming back down to the lows. What is very disturbing for me, that if the bounce hasn't come all the way up to claim the wave 4, then I'm speculating on an ABC corrective move. I am speculating on an ABC flat scenario. So basically looking at this, and at this right over here, okay? And this is basically what happened, right? This is basically what happened. And this is a good swing failure pattern level. This is a good triple bottom scenario. Getting back to this low over here, and creating a swing failure pattern. It's a good setup if you are looking for a possible ABC. And the main reason why you have a high probability that this could play out is because the lower high here from the wave 3, right, bouncing to the wave 4 has not been claimed, and most of the times the wave 4 from an impulse is tapped, okay, on a corrective structure. This was explained in detail in the Legends trading community, where I was looking for that very high chance ABC flat structure, okay, looking for that $59,800 range to be hit. You know, it looks very good to create that moment to the upside, to claim that pivot high from the drop of yesterday, speculating it as a wave 4, to then create that swing failure pattern, right? This was in the Legends trading community update this morning, looking for that short trading setup as we were rejecting from the 4th wave. So it very much happened, and it could potentially, now this is what happens when you're a very defensive trader. I'm trying to not be as defensive, because many times the price will come to your entry and leave without you, right? I am looking for day trading setups. This is why I'm more of a day trader, because I'm very defensive with my stops, and I miss out on swing positions. I just can't, you know, I'm usually out of a swing position, and I'm very much aware that the price could continue dropping in the next coming hours. I would prefer the price to go up here, right? Because I got stopped out from the short at break even here. But I'm very much aware that this has higher probability in breaking down, okay, to come down and claim these lows. And that is just purely based of the local price action. That is purely based on this drop that we had yesterday, completing that 5th wave. That this structure is what got me disturbing, okay? You know, this is what changed the mind. So this is why before we were forming this price action, yeah, without a doubt, I am saying, guys, you know, bump and run scenario, bring it on. Let's see if we can maintain our support. I'm bullish. I'm giving the bulls a chance, especially if we do not lose the previous day highs. Let's go, baby. Let's get the bulls getting into some steam, right? But then we have this price action yesterday. And then, of course, this just changes your vision completely. This movement to the downside changes the vision completely. So now is when you do realize, you know, the bearish structure here. So that's why the most important move in trading for your bullish or bearish case scenarios is the next one. The most important level is the next, the most important move, right, is the next one in trading always, right? What are you going to do next, right? Because I have a trading setup, I have a bullish case or a bearish case, and I need to see the next move. What are you going to do with the next move regarding those levels that have been hit? So the thing is, there is one thing that is disturbing here, okay? There is one thing that is disturbing that I do see another scenario, of course. When we do take a look at this drop from the bump and run, it's very complex to analyze the micro counts here on the waves, okay? But you would arguably discuss there is a wave 1 inside of this area, wave 2, because you have multiple 1-2s in here, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5 with this double bottom, right? Wave 5, classic for a double bottom or a swing failure pattern, right? Failed auction kind of movement, right? Liquidity grab beneath those lows. Now, when we do take a look at this movement to the downside, you would arguably discuss this has been a 5-waver to the downside, right? It's been a 5-wave move down. And this is what is disturbing for me right now, okay? If I do count higher time frame, and I'm not going to micro count this, guys, but you could arguably discuss this has been the wave 1. You can get a wave 1 from here, micro count double 1-2s inside of this zone. You're looking for this being the third wave, obviously the most impulsive, and this a wave 4 and a wave 5. There is 5 waves down nevertheless, you know, depending if you want to micro count all of this right over here. So there is 5 waves moved down. Now my question is here, this pullback is relatively shallow in my opinion. Relatively shallow. Well, it's just got above the 382 Fibonacci. So the question is, regarding timing, it wouldn't make too much sense just regarding the timing to this to be the ABC, right? And the price to roll down instantly after this move. Yes, it could be the end of a 3-wave structure because we did move up very 3-wavy, guys. This is why yesterday I was explaining, legends, I do not want to see the price, you know, dropping down beneath this pivot high, right over here. I do not want the price getting below this pivot if I want to count this as an impulsive move, right? If possible, right? We want to maintain above previous day high. We want to continue the momentum. And if we form 3 peaks in a 5-wave move, game on, guys. The corrective structure here will very likely be bullish. However, this was not the case. This was very 3-wavy, right? Because when you do take a look at the counts here from that low after the double bottom, it's a very 1-wavy, very 2 right there, and then the 3 right over here, right? Giving you the possibility of this being an ABC. Now it's where it gets very, very punchy, right? Now it's where it gets a little bit complex, as in, okay, what if the price is going to form a 3-wave here, a 3-wave here, and a 3-wave right over here, right? What if the ABC, WXY, right? What if the corrective structure is not finished? And here is where I want to come to the conclusion. I would prefer the price to pump, to be honest, as it stopped me out at break even from that small little scalp day trade, all right, that I got into. So I would prefer the price to actually pump, but I do realize that the biggest zone of confluence would be that level. I would really want to see the reaction here and get into a short position. I think this would be an epic swing short position if you do get to the 61,800 to 62,200 zone, right? It's not going to be an easy area. It might get choppy. It might just blast through the level. But yeah, the more choppiness, the more rangy, the better, right? I love the double tops and the double bottoms, all depending on the structure that we move here to the upside. But this would be the zone of speculation, manage risk, and look for that swing short. And you may ask yourself, why do you think that is the possibility? Well, as we see this impulsive move, this would be a very, very short ABC, but I have to say it is still valid. It's still valid that this has been a 3-wave structure. That is it. Game over, right? We're going down. We're going lower. But I'm very much aware that those previous highs can be claimed just to form a much larger 3-wave corrective move. So I have to go with the speculation, right? We'll talk about long setups, guys, but longs are going to be looking very, very scary if we start moving down aggressively. We can talk about some scenarios, what we need to see to execute a long position based on a sign of weakness of the bears and reclaiming certain levels of support, okay, that should turn into resistance, but reclaiming the levels. I'll explain what I would want to see here for the next setup. So much information, guys. Head is going to explode. But yeah, like I explained in today's video update, whatever happens in this zone, if we were to get that pump, guys, this is the next interest zone that we want to see proof of resistance, because we do have a lot going on there. Okay, we'll talk about more local scenarios in just 1 second. We'll talk about more local scenarios in just a few minutes. But if we were to get out of nowhere, guys, some massive pumpy momentum into this level, this is the level where you're probably going to dance around, get some rejections, right? Form bearish CVD divergence, right? Just consolidate or just get a fast rejection, right? And then, you know, obviously looking for that pullback down. And the main reason is because we do have naked point of control at that zone, and it's also the golden pocket, right? The golden pocket from the highs here from Monday to the lows here from Wednesday. We do have the golden pocket where we have this lower high, right? This was explained in today's video update, giving you the chance of that 3-wave move. So it's going to be extremely important for me to analyze the local situation here, because the only way we would have to claim these lows one more time, and it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy here without a doubt, because this is the scenario that could happen, forming a 3-waver, and then you starting to move here, right, to the upside, or even a flat scenario. I mean, it's going to be very, very complex here regarding Elliott Wave theory, because yeah, why not could we see a flat scenario here and form something like this? I mean, it could definitely be a possibility, which you would have to double bottom, right? You're forming a 3-wave move up, a 3-wave move down, and then a 5-wave move to the upside here. And that is when it will be extremely clear, only when we form 5-wave moves up here, that this level is going to get rejected, only if we form 5 waves move up, right? So imagine we need to do all of this for me to be very confident in getting into a short trade, depending on how we move all the way up there. If we were to claim back the lows here from Wednesday and form another swing failure pattern, right? In this case, it would be a triple bottom, but you would have to go with the possibility that this could happen. Why? Because you can count 5 waves down here. You can see that this would be a very shallow correction based on timing from the highs to the lows. Very, very quick, okay, with the timing for the continuation to be successful. So I have to say that this, if we get a movement down to the lows, I have to change my strategy here to I will accept a swing failure pattern, failed auction from these levels. And the more times you test a level where you're already grabbing liquidity, okay, the more possibilities you do have to break down. But if I do see a possible flat scenario happening, which does make sense that it could be the possibility here, then the main reason why this low at $57,800, right, the lows from Wednesday, is still a strong level, it's because it's where we do have the previous week lows. Previous week lows is where we have, all right, this pivot low, obviously from last Monday, and the possibility of a flat. I have to say, I would take the chance if we do get that swing failure pattern here. Just realizing that we will be moving in a 3-wave move here, because obviously we could break down. This could be a wave 1, this could be a wave 2 formation, and then we're breaking down, of course, very aggressively. So it's not going to be an easy decision. We would have to wick beneath the level, reclaim the level, right? Form those bullish CVD divergence, and then obviously say, guys, previous week lows is getting that reaction. We are getting the bounce. We're getting huge amount of shorts entering here at the lows, and obviously speculate on that big recovery in the next coming days, which will sound unreal, guys, but this is how the recoveries happen, right? Just like we talked about the double bottom a few days ago on the live stream, right? Bump and run, double bottom, right? Talking about the entry point, the projection, but obviously talking about signs of weakness to take profit. We want to hold on into those trades as much as we can to max our profits, right? You don't want to instantly take profits, right? Just with a small little move. You want to try and maximize those profits. But if you see a sign of weakness, you just, by all means, you need to take those profits. Just like mentioned yesterday, guys, if we lose that previous day high, you want to take your profits from this long position that you took from that double bottom, because it's a sign of weakness. You don't want to start losing support levels. You want to try and maintain uptrend structure and momentum, not losing major, levels of support, because that would be a sign of weakness. So when we do, I'm going to say that this is possible. However, I'm very much aware that, this is where it's is getting a little bit complex. I'm going to give this a chance, guys. So I do see a setup here. This is a long trading setup. If you do create that swing failure pattern from these lows, just because there is an ABC flat scenario, there could be an ABC flat scenario. And the main reason why this ABC flat scenario is possible is because of this quick correction based on timing. It's a little bit too quick on timing compared to this wave to the downside. So I need to give it a chance that it could be definitely possible if we were to come all the way down there. So then what if this is already the corrective structure of this impulsive move? You've already created the impulse, you already corrected to the upside. Now you're just getting ready with that wave 1 and you're forming the wave 2. This is what we are going to talk about right away, right? What would be the invalidation of this bearish case if we are looking at this as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And I would say that this is completed. It's just, like I mentioned in the Legends community, I would really say that this ABC flat is completed here. Yeah. I would have to say that it does look very much completed. So I think there is higher probability in moving lower here. Yeah, it would make sense to actually get that movement down. It would make sense to get that movement down here. Just looking at the analysis, guys. Sorry, just looking at the pivots. Not drawing anything, just on my mind here, looking at the pivots and the possible scenarios. Local levels of resistance. I mean, the perfect day trade short, guys, was this one right over here. I gotta say, we did get a quick move of almost $1,000. It just wicked down and wicked up, so you had to be like instantly taking profits as you were getting that reaction from the previous day value area low. You need to be quick. The ideas are great. You got great ideas, great projections, great setups, guys. 59,800. Claim that fourth wave to look for the short position, okay, to basically look for that movement down to see if we do get an aggressive drop. However, the previous day value area low did maintain as support like crazy. We just tapped it and got an instant bounce, as you can see. Previous day value area low right over here with that tap and instant bounce. It was just like quick TP1 here, guys. Let's see what happens. And then, massive V shape as we were having the New York Open. So, then I got people asking questions as in, wow, why did we get this drop and quick V shape? Well, it's the New York Open, right? And it's very, very complex if you're day trading and scalping. If you have the New York Open, you're going to get that volatility, and it's just going to go across your entry points. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is, but it does look like that there's higher probability that these lows are going to be claimed in the next coming hours, and that is purely based on that ABC flat. It's just for me, it's a no-brainer. I would be surprised and I would have smoke coming out of my ears if the price were to reverse from here and claim these highs, and I would be like, what is this? what is this kind of structure that is happening here? So yeah, obviously we're just a few $100s in taking those lows. I think it's the highest probability at the moment. Yeah, we're just rolling down to those levels. So yeah, it's not going to be looking too great for the bulls, because if this were to be the end of the wave 2, which it does look, well, wave 2 or wave B or wave X, basically, it doesn't really matter. It really all depends on what the heck is going to happen here. What the heck is going to happen on this movement to the downside, because I would really speculate on a possibility of I really don't like these lows for an SFP, without a doubt. I just don't like them. It's just not a level for an SFP here. Even though it does create it, really not interested. I do see the price just dropping down here quite aggressively. What would be the best case scenario would be that that possible flat structure. Yeah, ideally, this is what I would want to see. When we do take a look at the previous week lows that have not been tapped with Wednesday's drop, the ideal scenario for the bulls for a long position, the ideal scenario, in my opinion, would be this right over here, where you're forming a 3-wave move up, a 3-wave move down, claiming back the lows from Wednesday, liquidity grab, a little bit of a long squeeze, and then a short squeeze, big recovery that will blow your socks off to basically create that flat structure, right? When you're looking at an ABC, it's the only possibility that I do see here happening regarding the bullish case, right, on the lower time frame. So yeah, it ain't gonna be easy. What can I put this green? I'm not sure if you can see this. It's the only good bullish case that I do see here for a swing trade. Basically, it's the only good bullish case that I do see for a swing trade for the longs. Basically, shorts are very much, the bears are in control here at the moment. So yeah, god damn you, Bitcoin. It happens, just it happens. Got into the short, did take some profits, didn't take enough though, gotta be honest. But yeah, the reading of the market here from this movement was completely correct, I gotta say. The reading of the waves that was mentioned in the Legends trading community was pure textbook. It was pure textbook, this movement to the downside. And this is when you have clear 5 waves completed, it is well, I wouldn't say extremely easy, but extremely easier to detect the next possible movements. And without a doubt, my favorite trade is where you have a lower high after a major move. The dead cat bounce high. The dead cat bounce high for me is a no-brainer to take a short, okay? Because that is when you complete a wave 5 double bottom, you claim the highs right over there, and it gives you the perfect short. It gives you the perfect short and the perfect risk management. So, I mean, it is a strategy, basically. It's a strategy based on a dead cat bounce swing failure pattern, right? You're just testing the lower high and you're looking for the shorts to come back down to the lows of the range. It's just, it's a range swing failure pattern. And if you can add Elliott Wave theory to it, which is basically looking at that ABC structure, then it's like, it's a no-brainer, right? It's like, you know, you're going to form a flat structure. You are going to get that pullback. It's really, really a high probability strategy, basically, right? A high probability move, which you want to take. So, yes, I have to say that this is very much possible. The reason why I don't like this anymore, guys, this is something that we mentioned yesterday. I mean, if you're in that trade, I personally would be out of this trade. When you get the first movement down, you're looking for quite a significant V-shaped recovery and you're looking for the lows to not be claimed. But as we were talking about this idea yesterday, those lows were claimed, okay? Those lows that we formed on the live stream at 58,900, they were claimed with this next spike, and that is what changes the game. This reclaim of the lows changes the game. This no longer is a 3-wave structure, it becomes a 4-wave structure, giving complete control for the bears for the next move, likely being corrective. So the most important move when you're doing technical analysis is the next one. So I have to say that I would really not be interested, me personally, in a long trade in this area. This for me would be a no trade zone, even though if it does create a weird double bottom here, right? If it comes down and gets a bounce, I would say, well, okay, but it's not a double bottom that I would trade, okay? The main reason why is because of this. You've tested. You reckon after a bounce like this that you're going to come back down and test it again and then get the bounce? I mean, liquidity has been claimed already here. You've formed a triple bottom, you would argue, discuss. You think you're going to get another bounce, another swing failure pattern? It's unlikely. Could it happen? Absolutely yes, but it just loses probability to take that trading setup. So I would personally not be interested here in a trade in this area. And once we claim previous week lows, we could smash through down. Okay, we could get a major drop, but if we do get that reaction, I would give the speculation chance, and I'm going to keep it relatively simple, okay? Because you want to get into the confirmation next wave. So if I'm speculating that we could form a flat here, and we're forming an A, B, C right there, and this is another A, B, C right over here. The most important scenario here to decide if you want to get into a long position, and it will not be easy. This one will not be easy, and the main reason why is because this could be a 1 down, 2 and 3, right, where you're just smashing through here to the downside in a very explosive move down. And it could get relatively complex here, because you could be still inside of the third wave here, just get a bounce, and you might think that you're in that ABC flat, and you're just getting a small little bounce inside of the third wave, but you're just continuing to the downside. So there will be some slight danger on this trade. But what you would want to see for a confirmation to get into the trade, it would be a very aggressive swing failure pattern. I would be really not that interested in a swing failure pattern here, jump into the long instantly as you recover from these lows of Wednesday. On the other side, I would consider getting a pretty nice bounce and checking the retracement down, because I want to be in the second wave. I want to be in the second wave because if you can get into the second wave, well, you know what is next, right? The third wave is what is going to give you those insane profits. So trying to speculate in a second wave to look for a third wave, right, is what is going to get you those insane gains. And that is when you are looking for that ABC flat here, right? You know, looking at the higher time frames, right? I'm not sure if you guys can see the green, but so what you would want to do is have that wave one, get that bounce, see the bulls stepping in, defending the lows from Wednesday. That will be an extremely good sign. And the next step that you need to take is remain patient for the retracement, because the retracement will come. The retracement will come, and you want to see that retracement obviously coming down in between 50% and 7/8 Fibonacci, which will be your zone to decide and speculate. Are you going to back test these lows? Are you going to form bullish CVD divergence, forming lower lows on the CVD and getting a lot of people shorting the market as we're dropping, and then obviously look for that rebound back up, speculating on that third wave to come back up to the highs from yesterday, which is obviously a classic target zone. So this would be the next kind of swing trade scenario that I would be very much interested in. Sorry guys about this, because it looks like a big fat mess, but hopefully there has been a pretty nice explanation on that possibility. We need to see the wave one, guys. We need to see the reclaim of the lows from Wednesday, period. That's it. You need to have that explosive recovery above the lows of Wednesday. You do not get that explosive recovery from the lows of Wednesday, there will be no longs to enter. And if you do get that movement to the upside, you just need to remain patient for the corrective move, because I know a lot of, obviously it's classic in trading to remain patient. A lot of people cannot remain patient. So what you would want to see is the big fat recovery and remain patient for the corrective structure, because the corrective structure will happen. It will happen at some point, unless you're forming incredible micro 1-2s and then you're rocketing. But most of the time, you do get the corrective move down to at least the 50% to the 7/8 Fibonacci if you're speculating on a wave 2, which is most commonly where you correct to. So you need that explosive move up. And here, once you start correcting, is when you're going to start putting your fib levels from the low to the high. You get the pivot low from the recovery to the pivot high of the recovery, right? And when you start to see the price correcting down, you are looking at the 50%, okay, to the 61878 area. And preferably you would want to see insane bullish CVD divergence. So get that movement down, sweep up the lows, get the recovery, come back down in that, three-wave structure. And as you do form this right over here, form very strong lower lows and higher lows as you are back testing, potentially these lows right over here, right, from Wednesday. That is the moment you're like, okay, I am going to speculate, okay, that we could get that wave 3 and come all the way up, this is a classic target zone, guys. The pivot high, when you're rolling down like this, it's claim liquidity from these lows. And if you do get that first reaction bounce, it's game on, guys. It's like game on. I want to look for these highs as a target zone. It's a game of liquidity. Claim the liquidity from the lows. Let's claim liquidity of the highs. And when you use a little bit of, you know, Elliott Wave theory, some proven levels of support, such as previous week lows. Hey, previous week lows, it might hold. So will it hold or not? We're going to have to wait and see with this drop if we are going to hold those levels, because if we do not recover from those lows over here, then obviously it's not going to be looking too great. I would be arguably discussing that we're going down to $56,000. So it's the next trading plan, guys. It will be a moment to remain patient. It will be a moment to remain patient. We're getting the drop right now. Screw you, Bitcoin. Screw you. Screw you. I knew this was going to happen. It happens sometimes, guys, especially if you are a defensive trader, such as myself. I just, you know, most importantly in trading, I like making money, but I like even more protecting my capital. I like even more protecting my capital. So, you know, getting stopped out break even and then the price goes where you're predicting, you know, it just happens sometimes, right? So you're just gonna have to, you just live with it. Regarding, it's the only clear scenario that I do see here. Gotta be honest. If we suddenly bounce from this low, it just wouldn't make sense for me for the price to bounce here. It would not make sense, because you would be looking for a three waiver, you know, could we form a three waiver here? And then come up here. You know, regardless, it doesn't matter. I got a trading plan, right? A day trade to swing trade plan here, which is pretty simple, guys. I've explained it, right? It's that ABC flat scenario. You get that strong recovery. We can speculate on a wave 1, wave 2. You want to be in wave 2 because wave 3 and 4 and 5 is where you want to start thinking to get out, right? And I would obviously come to the conclusion that this is going to be a liquidity grab from this pivot, and you're very likely going to come to the highs of the start of the drop from Tuesday, and that is what you're looking at here. Claim those highs, hit the golden pocket, and back down we go, guys. Right? So move down, we're going lower, move up, we're going higher, move back down, right? So you're going to get the classic bears saying we are going to 50K, right? As we're moving down, you get the epic bounce out of nowhere, and it pumps another $3,000-$4,000 after a few days after that recovery. And then you get people extremely bullish here, and then you get the movement then back down. That is what I do see the waves, the kind of waves happening if we do obviously recover from these lows of Wednesday. Then there's the scenario of we just break down and there's no reaction whatsoever. You're just breaking down. And if we do break down successfully from previous week lows and we're just heading to lower levels, then I just have to say that we are going down to these lows over here. So we're getting the leg down, a bit of volatility, guys. You know, the plan is clear. For me, this volatile move down, it's a no trade zone. I need to see the price stopping, getting a bounce, reclaiming some levels, and look for the bullish case, bullish recovery. Because the short trade was here basically. The short trade is not down here, obviously. For me, I mean, if you want a FOMO short here, you might have a chance. You might get a few $100s more to the downside, which is very, very likely. So, but it's difficult to manage risk when you're FOMOing into a movement down just because of a huge wick to the upside, huge bounce, right? So the short trade was here, like I explained in the Legends trading community, and it was very, very defensive with this scenario. Hopefully, some people did manage to maintain that short position, because I got stopped out break even with this with the New York session open. But the game plan was was clear. The game plan was clear. I'm looking for the $59,800 range to top out, because what I am looking at here is an ABC scenario, right? I'm looking for that ABC structure flat, where I'm looking for the price to basically top out at that level and then get the roll over to the downside. So yeah, it was basically the overall update from today. And that was the level 2 short, right? That was the level 2 short. So, you know, just so you can see, if you're entering a FOMO short here to the downside, you're in danger now. You're in danger. Price is getting a reaction. It's getting a bounce. It's moving already a few $100s. So it's just there's no real levels here for me for either a long or a short. It's just wait for the price action to either claim the lows here from Wednesday, get the recovery. This looks good. Speculating on a wave 2, bang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, you know, just there's no trade zone for me. This could slice through, or it could suddenly get an epic bounce out of nowhere. And so not a great area for either shorts or longs. So yeah, the plan is, I think the plan is pretty clear here, guys. My plan is pretty clear. The only local plans, I mean, if we were to drop down, then I would have to say, I'm just going to wait for a range and a little bit of sideways price action. This is an area from this pivot low and this pivot low that I would not want to do anything. Okay, price could just move down, then recover, or move down and slice through. It's just a bit of an empty zone in between the previous week lows and this pivot low from the 15th of August. And it's a zone that I would not want to do anything till we actually form proof of support. There is a very aggressive long position, which is this pivot over here. First higher low on the higher time frames that was formed on the 7th, 7th of August, 7th, 8th of August. Which has a lot of confluence. There's a daily level at that zone. There is the naked point of control. There's the golden pocket, right? There you got the beautiful higher low for a swing failure pattern right over here. You know, everything points out that this level is going to get a bounce of several $100s without a doubt. Without a doubt, it's an insane level for a trading setup. But, you know, obviously that is almost $4,000 away from where we at, right? Anything can happen here and get a recovery. So the plans are pretty clear. Legends, like I mentioned, claim the low, back above, boop, boop, boop. This is going to be looking interesting. Back test, wave 1, wave 2, speculating on a wave 3, so you can grab the liquidity here at this zone. And if we do form this kind of momentum, this is going to be a level to short. Then we'll analyze very carefully here. If we move in a 5-wave move up, guys, I'm going to short the 5th wave with an SFP from these highs hitting the golden pocket. If I am awake, of course, and I'm in front of the chart. It's the level to do so, especially if you form these waves to the upside. So it would be I'm gonna give the chance to the bulls here. If this is going to be a 3-wave move and a 3-wave move here, and then we're forming another 3-wave move up here, this is going to be bearish for me, just because of this structure here. This movement to the upside, if we move to the upside here in the next coming hours, for me it's not going to be bullish. For me, this is not going to be a wave 1. This is a wave 2, and this is a wave 3. No way in a million years. And that is because of the 3-wave structure that we formed here, and because we've retraced all the way down to the 0.88 Fibonacci. Any move here to the upside after coming this low is going to be corrective, even though if the price does come all the way up here, I will be extremely interested if the price suddenly pumps $2,000-$3,000 between today and tomorrow to get into an epic short in this zone. Just because of the structure that we formed in the last 2 days, guys. This is bearish. These lows are going to be claimed at some point, and if the price does come all the way up there, it's just going to be an epic swing short position back down to the lows. Okay, so yeah, things can change very, very quickly. Things can change very, very quickly. So for the moment, claim the low, claim the lows of Wednesday, previous week low, looking for that flat scenario based on three waves. You move up here, you can speculate on a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. You want to be in the wave 2, obviously. And if we move to the upside here out of nowhere, then I'm going to say this is not likely bullish. I want to see a nice 3-waver all the way up here. And that is when I'm going to say this really does look like, okay, a 333 wave. We've retraced all the way down to the 0.88. Unlikely for a wave 2 or anything here because we formed 3 waves here. So any movement up here is unlikely. I'm not going to say it's not. It's unlikely to be a bullish move to the upside. These lows are going to be claimed sooner rather than later, guys. And remember now, if you are not trading on one of these exchanges, Bluffing has given us 10% cash back for all of the followers, guys. Whatever you deposit, okay, with a maximum cap of $4,000, you get 10% cash back from your initial deposit. You deposit $1,000, you're getting $100 on top of that, okay? So you got more capital to trade with. You deposit $3,000, you're getting $300, right? So on and on like this, guys. 10% cash back with Bluffing, okay? Extremely easy to use platform. You do get that insane bonus with a link down below, guys. Bluffing, get 10% cash back. No KYC required. So with an email and a password, you can start trading in minutes. And it is one of the most legit platforms out there because they have proof of reserves, all right? They don't do anything fishy with your deposits, guys, just like other exchanges, right, that have basically gone bankrupt in the past. We're not going to name them, but we know which ones, right? Such as FTX, right? Let's just give it a shout there. So they do have proof of reserves, guys, which makes them very transparent with the funds of the clients. Go and check out Bluffing, guys. 10% cash back is what you get with your deposit, so you can use for your trading. BTC going down to $42,000. Yes, it's probably going down to $30,000, right? The question is when. Right? So we're looking at day trading scenarios here. Bitcoin to 42, Bitcoin to $100,000, right? Bitcoin is going to go to 100K, guys. It is going to go to 100K. It's actually going to go to $500,000, right? So this is what we get with the bears right now. Bitcoin to 42K. Well, I can guarantee you that Bitcoin will go to $100,000. It's guaranteed, guys. It's written on stone. It's written on stone that Bitcoin will hit $100,000. The question is when, my friend, right? So Bitcoin will hit $42,000, I can see in the comment section. The question is when, right? Without a doubt, it can go down there. So Bitcoin overbought. It must reset itself in the 40K price range for a rally to 80K. It would be insane, actually. I would really consider buying some Bitcoin. I'm not going to buy any more altcoins unless we get another epic crash, which obviously if Bitcoin does go down to the 40K range, altcoins are going to bleed and I'll be down a lot. I would just have to buy some more, right? It's like torture. You're just going to have to buy more and more. But I think I would probably go with Bitcoin. I would go with Bitcoin, depending on the altcoins. I mean, if we get Chainlink down to $6, I will have to buy some Chainlink at $6. I will have to buy some. But yeah, buying Bitcoin below $48,000 is without a doubt a great option. It's a great option for the future, right? For the near future, right? Because then obviously if we do hit those levels and you buy here and then we go to 30K, you'll be like, hey, I bought at 40K. I'm in the red now. Well, hey, I'm going to buy some more here if we do go down there, right? So yeah, have some cash on the sidelines, guy. We might be getting into a massive depression, energy crisis, World War III, and screw crypto and blockchain and everything. We all gonna have major issues worldwide. Screw everything, guys. It's either all in or nothing. Let's go. 54K incoming. It does. I'm going to give the bulls a chance, guys. Like I said, that scenario that I have explained there is high probability. We just need to wait and see, guys. Okay? I don't want to come on a live stream like I usually do and say, guys, we got the double bottom. Guys, we got the ABC. Guys, we got this scenario. Pay attention. If you are trading, just wait for the highest probability setup. And like I said, if we do come down, and I will repeat it on the next live stream if we do get that bounce, and I'll be obviously giving the guidance in the Legends trading community on how we want to scalp day trade that scenario, just like this short that happened today. Getting above the fourth wave, looking for that swing failure pattern above that level, and then obviously looking for the short trade, okay? Looking for that highs to be claimed and look for the rejection. That is the level of rejection, the $59,700. That is the level that I'm looking for the pullback at this level, right? It's day trading scenarios. This is a beautiful move of, just around about $1,000. We did get proof of support at the previous day value area low. So this is what you get, guys. If you are interested, you know where to go. This was today. We got some people getting into the shorts. I want to see their money shots now in the next coming hours. I will be asking the community who managed to get into that very, very technical target zone to jump into the short, because we're looking for that ABC flat structure, right? That was ending up like this, right? Looking for that rejection right over there. And this is basically what has happened. And if you only wait for that scenario, you will be in a profitable trade. If you only wait, and it was my only short trade setup, wait for this setup, guys. We can manage risk with stop loss above the high. You got an entry point and you're looking for that pullback. And you can either quickly take profits and get stopped out at break even, or have your stop loss in place. As of course, we did have the New York Open that brought that slight volatility. Okay, it's it usually happens on the New York Open. Really tried to stay away on New York Open with trading setups, but it happened as we were hitting the level, looking for that setup. If you only waited for that trading setup, you have a green day, right? So we only look for very, very specific trading setups, just like this one that I mentioned today, guys. If the price dips down Wednesday's lows and you get an insane recovery in the next coming days, this correction is going to be the bomb diggity of trades. This is going to be like the top-notch trading setup, because what you are looking for is a high probability third wave move up to not only claim the highs from yesterday, well, obviously that would be a TP1, but looking for the ultimate take profit zone at the $62,000, bringing you a move of $3,000 or $4,000 potentially if it does retrace down to around about 58K, 58.5K. If we get that movement up, I am going to be ready and very much understanding that what could be happening here is a massive ABC flat, and then eventually we'll be analyzing very carefully what happens here for the price to actually go to 49K, right? Or 42K, as we can see here in the comment section. That would be the ultimate level to get in. So, I mean, let's see if that happens. We could just waterfall. Today's Friday. Fridays are a lot of the times quite bearish. We have seen a lot of Fridays being bearish. So we might just get that breakdown to $44,000 today, right? This is not a guaranteed trade. We need to see that big recovery and that, bullish CVD divergence to speculate on that scenario that we could get all the way up here to $62,000, right? And then look for that epic swing short position. Remaining patient, remaining for the different possibilities here. Let's go right away. My short was 65.7. Feels like forever ago. Wow, yes. I mean, yeah. Went off and we never been back. Very, very good. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, this is without a doubt is a good swing short position. If you are in that short position here from these levels, you're in for a great swing short. If I had a swing short position open from here, I would definitely leave some open, right? I would definitely leave some open because there is the extreme bearish case scenario here. You've got the 𝗬𝗏𝗽 pattern, right? Which the target zone is coming all the way down to the A wave, which is at 49K. They're giving you an epic move down. I would, obviously take some profits, but I would definitely leave some open on that short trade. Because everything points out that this could be a 3-wave corrective structure. You do have the 𝗬𝗏𝗽 pattern. Everything points out that the bears on higher time frame do have some pretty interesting probabilities and pushing to lower levels. So 44K equals cheap Bitcoin. Andy, do you have a video tutorial on vwap? I do not have it on YouTube, unfortunately. I have it on the masterclass. Of course, in the masterclass, I go through all sorts of different scenarios. I go through naked point of controls, volume profiles, a little bit of basic Elliott Wave theory that I need to get to the advanced section, harmonic patterns, VWAP, CVD, you name it. Obviously, all of the confluence information and the setups is in the Legends trading community in the masterclass. But I would consider, there's no tutorial for VWAP. VWAP is the volume weighted average price. It is mainly used for scalpers and day traders when you're using the session volume profile, right? Sorry, the session VWAP. When you do use the VWAP, it is mainly used on scalping and day trading, meaning that if you do have a high confluence resistance point, just give or take, you're hitting the 618 Fibonacci from this drop and you're hitting the VWAP, then you can use that VWAP as confluence either for a resistance to take a short trade. If you add confluence, this is what I explain in the masterclass. What we talk about is all the different tools and indicators, and the more you have those tools together, then obviously the more confluence you have and the higher probability you have in getting that rejection or that bounce, depending if you are looking for a long, right? So VWAP is just a moving average, the volume weighted average price, that if you add confluence to it, then obviously usually when you're above it inside of the session, meaning inside of the day, you are likely going to find support at the VWAP. VWAP is usually support on lower time frames when you are above it, and it's usually resistance when you are beneath it, right? I wouldn't just trade based off the VWAP. I would actually add confluence such as a golden pocket Fibonacci retracement, a naked point of control, a retest of a daily level, right? You need to add as much confluence as you can on the VWAP, okay, to take a profit, to take a trade. And you can use it as a profit target as well. So if you did short from this level, obviously, then VWAP is a TP1, right? Because you could get that bounce from the VWAP, it's a take profit or it's actually getting into a trade. So there's not really much to explain on the VWAP. It's just an intraday level when you're looking at the session VWAP. Of course, then you have the anchored VWAP, which is used on higher time frame. Anchored VWAP is used on higher time frame pivot highs or pivot lows. And you have it right over here in the left on Tradingview. You've got anchored VWAP. That is more to use for day trade to swing trade setup. So you got anchored VWAP here from pivot high and this anchored VWAP from the pivot low. And a lot of the times, yes, you will get that kind of higher time frame level of resistance or support. Now, in this case, the anchored VWAP from the highs did get a small little reaction here, as you can see on the 8th of August. So you were trading for a few hours. That anchored VWAP was providing a little bit of resistance. The price was getting actually a reaction, but there was probably not enough confluence for the price to get the rejection, right? So I would never trade based on only vwap, whether it's session vwap or anchored vwap from a higher time frame pivot high or a pivot low. So on this pivot low, what we can see obviously is the anchored VWAP from this new uptrend that we formed in August actually maintaining as support. And here's when you can add it as confluence, like we did mention a long trade from this pivot low, right? We talked about the failed auction and, looking for that reclaim and backtest of this pivot low. And just for a quick reminder, guys, we have the anchored VWAP and we are backtesting this pivot low with bullish CVD divergence. So you're getting those lower lows on the CVD, you're getting people shorting the market and obviously looking for that recovery to claim the highs of the range, right? This is more for a swing trade. This did take a few days. So the more confluence you add to a VWAP being session or anchored, right, from a higher time frame pivot high or low, you want to add confluence, CVD, back test of a level, a 618 golden pocket retracement, right? You name it. So quick tutorial right over there on VWAP for just keeping it simple. And what is happening here, you could arguably discuss it was getting, the higher time frame anchored VWAP from the pivot low was actually getting supported here, right? You can arguably discuss. I mean, it's more for a higher time frame kind of setup anchored VWAP, right? More for swing traders. So there's that small little tutorial on VWAP, my friend. Uncle VWAP. Yes, it's the only moving average on the chart that I use. I do have the MA ribbons here, SMAs, right? 20, 50, but it's really for fun. I have never traded based on a moving average, guys. Never entered a trade based on a moving average. Are we hitting the 21 weekly moving? Are we hitting the 200 moving average? I've never entered a trade based on MAs, guys, or SMAs. Never. Because for me, it's just like, it pierces through the MAs all the time, right? For me, it's just not a good level. It's not a good, I don't use moving averages, guys, period. You've never seen me in my entire trading career and, even on YouTube that I've been now for over 4 years, you will never see me talk about a single moving average, not either the 200 or the 50 or the 21 or any of that. So, I mean, that's only my style. It's just because I don't see a proper strategy based on the moving averages. Okay. And that's only me. I don't say they don't work. They just don't work for me. I don't use them. So the only kind of moving average on a chart is the VWAP. And obviously this one is, for me, very important for different trading decisions, either for take profit or for entering a trade. But don't you think EMAs could add confluence? Absolutely, yes. If I don't use them, it doesn't mean that you don't have to use them. I just don't see I don't have the value. I don't need them, right? I don't need the moving average, the EMAs. I just don't need them. So if you like them and you can add confluence to the moving averages, 100% yes, guys, use them. Because if we're hitting the 21 moving average and you have the 618 Fibonacci with a daily level and the 21 moving average at that level, well, yeah, without a doubt, use it as it's adding confluence, right, to a level. So it doesn't mean that they're not good. I just don't use them. So what indicator you like using the most? Right now, I mean, I wouldn't say an indicator. I would say the CVDs are extremely important to take trading decisions. But regarding indicators, I use tools or the volume profile. Session volume profile for me is one of the most important as well, based on the different decisions of, volume profile for me is very, very important. Naked point of controls. It's just a bit of everything, guys. I explain everything that I use on the masterclass if you want to check it out. Legends, we are dumping. Yes, sir, we are. Ain't looking too great. That ABC flat scenario is coming into fruition. And now the question is, will this be a massive 1, 2, 3, 5, right? Now the question, are we forming this and we're going down to, you know, give or take 55, 54K, or, and this is how we're going to detect it, guys, or are we forming an ABC move right over here? And like I said, if we do get the price action creating a punchy reaction back above, ooh, this is going to be looking extremely good. This is going to be looking extremely good. If we do get this, and obviously we're entering the weekend, so I wouldn't expect much volatility. Only if we do get this price action, I am extremely interested in the retracement that we do get, either for a back test from Wednesday's lows, bullish CVD divergence, and I would be speculating on a third wave bubbling up here to come all the way up to the lower highs from yesterday. And not only that, of course, the start of the highs of the major drop that we had on Tuesday. So, you know, if we do get that sign of strength, then I will be very interested in a kind of a swing trade setup to the upside. Keeping it simple, keeping it real, realizing where the bulls could step in. But I'm real here, and I do understand that the price could just slice through here, and we actually coming down to 54, you know, 56, and even $54,000, because there is really not much going on here. You know, I think it's a very easy area for the price of Bitcoin to just create that epic, you know, that epic slice. So I'm very much aware of that scenario. I would only be bullish if that does happen, right? I would only look for a long trade, like I said, if we do get that reclaim, okay? Only here I will start thinking of the possibility of bullishness. You know, as long as we're beneath this low, yeah, this could get pretty epic. We could get a major crash, Friday crash before the weekend. It's possible. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I wish I did, but yeah, I would not be interested at that movement. Legends, you guys are insane. You are the complete legends from the entire legend universe. Let's go through some news updates. I want to go through the comment section as well, okay? I haven't done too much comment section today. I did do a lot of comment section yesterday. Let's take a look at liquidity. Where is the liquidity? Liquidity is wherever, right? There's liquidity up and down. That's why, yeah, a lot of people do consider liquidity very important. I mean, if there was insane amounts of liquidity above us, then I would say it's higher probability that we are going to claim that liquidity above us. But most of the times when we take a look at the last 3 days, you know, 1 week, and we're looking at liquidity, you have hundreds of millions of dollars of liquidity beneath $58,000, and you have hundreds of dollars of liquidity, hundreds of millions of dollars of liquidity above $61,000. So it's like, which one is going to happen first, right? So this for me is really irrelevant unless it's extremely clear that we have a lot of liquidity to the upside and no liquidity to the downside. Then you can add it as confluence, as in, guys, there's no liquidity beneath us, right? But I mean, in this case, there is, right? On higher time frames, there's billions of dollars of liquidity beneath $58,000. Okay, so we do have a chance here in getting an epic drop. There's a lot of liquidity beneath 58K. Okay, we need to be real on this. We need to understand that, hey, there's mutual liquidation here, and there's slightly less at 62, 63. There's more liquidity beneath 58K, and there's less liquidity above 61K. Okay, so just with that conclusion, you would say, okay, we might be fetching that liquidity to the downside before getting any bounce. So let's take a look at a bit of news here. We have just in 1.7 trillion. Wells Fargo is preparing its wealth advisors to actively pitch Bitcoin ETFs to clients straight in September. Let's go. Wells Fargo, Let's go. Providing, you know, the Bitcoin ETF to the clients, one of the biggest banks in the US. There we go, guys. In September, it's happening. Can we expect October? If September is bearish, I would be expecting October to be very much bullish. October has been one of the most bullish months for Bitcoin throughout the last decade. October is known by Uptober. September, quite bearish. Usually there's higher probability in being a bit more bearish. September hasn't been the greatest month for Bitcoin, but October has been a very, very good bullish month on average during the last decade. Okay, so what do you think, guys? Are we going to get October? We're still not entering into September, so let's get through September first of all, then we can hype up October, right? If that were to be the case. We got interest rate cuts in September, so will we not get October? Very much aware of interest rate cuts happening in September. Rectember, that is, yeah, without a doubt. September might be Rectember, as it's usually bearish, and we getting interest rate cuts. Oh my goodness, it's a full recipe, guys, to go down to 40K. Let's be honest. We do have this guy over here, this blonde dude who I don't know who he is. Trump says he will make the United States the crypto capital of the planet. I mean, he has been saying this. It's not just this ain't nothing new. He did actually say this a few months ago. But we can see people hyping this up. Apparently, he has said it again. He's making, he's saying that United States is going to be the crypto capital of the planet. So let's see. Let's see, guys. It's going to be interesting, Q4. It's going to be very interesting. We've got the interest rate cuts. We got the elections, money printer go on, money printer not going on. It's just going to be such an epic end of the year, guys, with a huge, massive crash or a huge, massive pump. I don't know. There's a lot of bullish things. There's a lot of bearish things. I don't know. We're going to have to stick to the day trading and the scalping and the technical analysis, just like we do every single day in the Legends trading community, looking for that epic short from $59,800, which I only took small profits. It kicked me out at break even. I hope some of the Legends did manage to make some more profits on that move. But overall, we're going to have to stick to the charts. Show me the charts and I'll show you the trade. And whatever happens, then it happens, right? Portfolio is going to look like crap if we do get down to 40K, but another good reason to buy cheap Bitcoin, right? Because these guys will be buying, the big players will be buying, Legends, and we want to buy with the big guys when there's blood in the streets. Expect V-shaped recoveries if we do get down to 40K, guys. I don't see the price maintaining a lot, for a long period of time, 40K levels. There's going to be a lot of people buying Bitcoin at 40K. So make sure to unload your wallet, guys, at those levels. And if we get 30K, then, oh my goodness, it's just going to be a bargain. Let's see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Q4 is going to be very interesting, guys. We might get the biggest epic crash that we've never seen in our entire lives. Or we might see money printer go on, US elections, Trump elected, crypto bull market, bring it on, 2025 activated, right? We have Ferrari will be accepting Bitcoin and crypto payments in Europe in a few days. I thought this was already happening. I did see a news somewhere, Ferrari maybe in another country that is accepting Bitcoin and crypto payments basically. But this is in Europe right now. So yeah, there we go. I mean, in Dubai, you can buy anything. You can buy real estate, cars, whatever you want with cryptocurrency, basically. And it's very, very easy to, convert to cash, with no issues. So, yeah, Europe accepting, Ferrari is accepting Bitcoin and crypto as payments. Very, very cool thing to see. What is not that cool to see is we've had net outflows, of course. We've had some outflows on the Bitcoin ETF in the US during the last 3 days. 127 million on the 27th, 105, and yesterday just 71 million outflows, guys. No bueno, not looking good, not happy. Not to worry. They will buy up again, guys. They will be buying up again. Legends, thank you very much. Let's go through the last few comments. Looks like Andy is buying a Ferrari. You know what? I am not buying a Ferrari. I am not buying a Lamborghini. You know the car that I have? It's a Ford F-150 Shelby, and I love it. It's a pickup truck. I love it. It's the Shelby. It has 750 horsepower. It's a nice big truck. I like it. I've rented a few, you know, cars such as Lamborghini and Porsche. They're just so uncomfortable. I have 2 dogs. It's not a family car. I've got some dogs. I like taking my dogs, and it's just not a car to take dogs, right? So not a huge fan. But yeah, F-150 Shelby. It's insane. You guys know which do you guys know which one it is? I'm sure most of you do know, obviously. But the yeah, F-150 is an epic car, guys. It's really, really cool. It's super, super duper. I have the gray one, but this is basically the one. I have the gray one. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but it's this one right over here. Woo. This is the Ford Shelby F-150s, over 750 horsepower. This is an absolute beast. This is black, but I got the gray one. I love it. I go to the beach. I go with my dogs. That's the car that I like. That's the one that I have. Ferrari. I'm too old, guys. I'm 34, sorry. I'm too old for sports cars. Dogs better than cars. Yes, I'm not a very materialistic guy, to be honest. But yeah, not too materialistic, guys. I have 2 dogs. I love my dogs. I like going with my dogs to the beach. So yeah, I like a nice big truck. 34 is young. I know 34 is young, but I feel old. I feel old. I feel old, guys. I'm fit. I go to CrossFit, but yeah. And I want to buy a nice country house back in Spain. I'm not going to be here in Dubai for long. It's probably going to extend it a couple of years maybe, but I'm not going to be here for a long time. It's not my world. I'm a country guy. This is too much for me. It's a big city. It's really good. It's extremely safe. It's good with tax. It's a great place, I've got to be honest, but I don't see myself living here and retiring here and just living. It's a great place, but it's not for me. It's fine for a few years. That is my idea, but I want a country house, you know, just like Jason Casper. Jason Casper, I'm a huge fan of Jason Casper. He's a country guy. I'm also a country guy. You know, I want to raise my chickens, you know, and all of my fruit and veggies. You know, I'm a fan of that, and it's the way we're going in the future. So that's my whole plan. I'm just going to be here for a few years, and then, you know, buying my country house. That's what I want to do. Jason Casper is, yeah, I love him. He's great. I need to get him on the channel. Need to get him on the channel again. Jason will buy a Lambo tractor. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Welcome to Muslim country, UAE. Yeah, it's great. It's a great country. It's just a place where I would just want to be here for a couple of years, maybe 3, maybe 4. But place for moon boys. Yes, it is, without a doubt. Very flashy, very, very flashy. It's really not my cup of tea. I like to get mud on my hands, have my chickens, have my animals, grow my own food. I have a passion for that. And thank God my missus as well. My missus loves, she's not enjoying Dubai that much. And she loves also animals and living off the earth, right? So too much capitalism in Dubai. Yeah, it really is. It really is. You need to be ready for the city. You need to be ready. You need to be ready for the city. It's for me, it's too much. I enjoy it for a few months, maybe a couple of years, but it's not a place where I would buy a house and live here for the next 10, 20 years. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. To make money, doing a bit of networking, tax, all of this, services, security, it's awesome. It's an awesome city. UAE is an insane country. It's one of the top, notch countries out there. Security is insane here. Safety, tax, it's just very, very good. But it's not for me. I'm not gonna last too long here, guys, to be honest. Looks like 56.7k. Let's not talk anymore about my personal life. I'm not a guy that really, talks about personal stuff most of the time, but it's good to connect with the community, guys. Just open heart here, open heart to you. $57,000. It's going to be interesting, guys. I would say that these lows are going to be claimed tonight in the next coming hours. And I will set some alerts, and we either do this. Only if we do this, I will be interested in a possible recovery. I'll be paying attention on the retracement. If we do not get that recovery, we going down, baby. We going down. Triple bottom scenario, please. Yeah, we got previous week lows. I like it because previous week lows have not been tapped. So let's see if that provides just a liquidity grab, and if previous week lows does, if we do, we never know, right? It might just retest previous week lows and recover. We're going to have to analyze very carefully this scenario. Legend. That is the life, Andy. Fresh veggies, fruit, eggs, and meat from the farm. 100%, Mariella. You know the deal. You know the deal. Are you an Aquarius? No, I'm Leo. I am Leo. Leo. Is it Leo? Is it Leo in English? I am Leo. So, yeah. Born in August. Legends, thank you very much for joining. It is Friday. Make sure to enjoy today. Don't drink too much if you drink, guys. Don't drink too much. Have a good time. Have a great weekend. Stay safe with your trading. And I will be back with more tomorrow.